What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Talkbox. Check it out. You need to like and subscribe. Come on and catch another vibe. Boy, DOA playlist. Let's keep it funky.
YouTube family, YouTube world, I am back. First of all, I hope everyone is well and blessed. Please, let's keep our country in prayer and always remember that God is in control. God is in control. There's a lot of suffering going on. A lot of people are hurting right now. And so keep those loved ones and your loved ones, keep everybody in prayer and continue to pray for this country. All right. So we got that out the way. First of all, oh yeah, I got to do this. Y'all please go and subscribe to the page. This is getting on my damn nerves. Please go and like and subscribe to the page. Please go and like and subscribe to the page. Please go and like and subscribe to the page. Please go and like and subscribe to the page. The page. Dang it.
5 to subscribe.
That's 5 times, right?
5 times.
So five to subscribe. That's our motto. 5 to subscribe. I don't listen. To me, that's old and outdated. People don't say that no more. But my producer, he's younger than me. He make me say that. Who says like and subscribe anymore? It's new verbiage right there. What's the other verbiage?
We know.
Okay, we gotta figure that out. But he makes me do that, because he know I'm damn near 60, so he make me look like I'm 60.
Hey, man.
Felix, I don't dig that. Anyway, wait a minute. I said his name. Let me start over. Listen, y'all need to be glad y'all here today because I got a special brother that's on this screen with me today. It's something about the water in Chicago that's just, it's something about that water, man. We're going to talk about it. It's just got so much talent in that water. And these people like him, all you got to do is just drink it, talent, drink it, talent, drink it, talent, drink it, talent. It's so many. But today I got another one, and this brother has been in my life for over 20 years. Got a lot of love for him, a lot of respect for him. He's a phenomenal songwriter. He's a phenomenal producer. But he's one of the greatest drummers of our time. He's done so much, and we're going to get into some of it a little bit. We can't touch on it all. But I'm so happy to have my brother here. I've been trying to get him with me for a long time, over a year, maybe a year and a half. But he's here with me today. And I want y'all to show your love for this spectacular brother. Just a great human being, great father, great man of God. This brother I love dearly. Y'all show your love right now for this dude right here. None other than the one and the only Mr. Felix the Kat Pollard. Give him your love.
D. What's up, D? What's up, D?
Come on, man.
Hey, man. First of all, thank you. Thank you for inviting me on, man, and just thinking enough about me to have me on and hang out, man, and share. Like you said, we got over 20 years, bruh. And I mean, we've seen highs, we've seen lows, we've called each other. I know I've leaned in on you in so many little areas, both on the highs and the lows. Hey man, what move should I make here? Hey man, bruh, I need you to pray with a brother. You know what I'm saying? And so it's love. It's all love. And man, we gonna have a good time, man. We got plenty of stories, whatever, man. It's no holds barred on this mug, but
man, thank you, man. Thank you for being here, Felix, man. I know how busy you are, and I appreciate you, man, taking out the time. And you said it just to come hang with me, man, because it's nothing but a big hang. What we do, right. It's a hang. If it go 30 minutes, cool. An hour. If it go 3 hours, cool. People say, man, you don't do talking to people that long. I'm like, man, get off my line, man. Get out of here. I'm not doing it for that, man. I'm doing it because we kicking it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about whatever people, the avarisms and the megarisms and the vivarisms and all of it. I got to call Bootsy and get some more isms, man, because Bootsy got all the isms, man. But, man, no, I do this because we get to catch up and talk in a different way. we get to, I get to share some of the people that has been so has inspired me and influenced my life, and I get to share them on my platform. So I kind of do it the way I want to do it, man. So, man, I'm so glad you're here hanging out with me, bro. For real, man.
Yes.
First of all, man, let's get this started. How you been, man? How you been? Tell me about that.
Man, I am really, really good, man. I'm blessed, fortunate. I turned 53 in November of 24.
Man, we got to get you some Similac. I'm going to get you some Similac for Christmas.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, D. Hey, man. Anybody that knows me and close to me, they know. Don't bring me no damn insure or nothing like that. Because anytime you getting insured, that means you about to be up out of this piece. So don't bring me no insure or nothing. I don't care how sick I get. But you better not come up in there with no insure, bro. No. But hey, man, I'm good. Man, my kids are great. I'm very, very proud of them. 2 boys and a girl, Dylan. He'll be 22 this year, man. I got started late, man. I got a 15-year-old about to be 16, and my little girl, and them daughters, man. She's the baby. I ain't gonna tell nobody, but she can get anything that she wants out of me. Anything. I don't care what it is. And she be trying it, I believe. So, it's working for her. And she's learning to play guitar, man. She performed with me at the NAMM show last year. But other than that, D, I'm good, man. My mom is good,
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Your mom is good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cancer survivor, and she's moving around, flying all over the place. And she got a Lifetime Achievement Award a couple of weeks ago in Mississippi for, singing gospel music, man.
Wow.
So, it's good, man. Life is good. I'm at peace.
Well, man, brother, for 53, you look great, man. You still look like you're 23, and you're still strong, man, and doing your thing. And I'm really proud of you, man. For real, man. So listen, man, let's get this thing started. So Felix, man, where you from, bro?
I'm originally from Chicago. I'm a West Sider. In my opinion, Chicago's one of the top greatest cities in the world. And we've been around the world, so we got some insight as to perspective and that kind of thing, man. But it's a really good city, glad that I was fortunate. I was born here and spent some time here and got my feet wet with some of the legends, and musically it's just so broad, man, to have just got a little bit from here, a little bit from there, and now sharing that back with students that I teach.
That is what it's all about. I love that right there, because that's what God wants us to do. That's what we're required. That's our job. That's what we're supposed to do, right? That's what we're supposed to do, man. We're supposed to give it back and teach.
Yeah.
So Felix, not only, I agree with you, man. Let me say this. Chicago is one of the most talented, it's one of the most talented cities in the world. That I can honestly say that, it's one of the most talented, and you like I said, man, there's something in the water. It's something in the water. It's some, and I say the same about. It's hard to say about California, because California is such a diverse, such a diverse state, and you got LA, which everybody from all around the world. So that's where y'all go. Y'all go to LA and you guys take everybody's jobs and put people out of work. What's happening with that, man? So I feel the same about Northern California. You know, the Bay Area where we're from. You know, it's one of the most, definitely one of the most funkiest to me, just in the world. And but I have so much respect for the city of Chicago, dog. For real, man. Y'all. So Felix, when did it start with you, man? How did it start on drums, or did it start on piano? Did it start on guitar? Did it start on tuba? Where did it start for you, bro?
It started for me at my grandfather's church on some steps. My mom played piano at church. My grandfather was a pastor. And that's where it literally started for me. Fast forward, around the same time, my babysitter, they had a band. His name was Timothy Lee. Her son's name was Timothy Lee. He played drums. He had a band in the basement, you know, and I just fell in love with the drums. And the first time I played, like an Easter service or something like that, I was 2 years old. So that's how it started for me, you know. And I go and tell the story, even when I go back, because my cousin's the pastor now. And, you know, you go back and sometimes they ask you to have something to say. And my story is the same. This is where I started, right here, sitting next to my mom on some steps, where she was sitting next to her playing piano. And when the preacher would get up, I would go to sleep or, you know, whatever. But when that music started, I would wake up waving my hands, playing to the music.
Felix, wait a minute, man. You said, wait, just back up. I know we got so much to talk about, but you said 2 years old, bruh, your first Easter service.
That's what I'm told. We fortunately or unfortunately, we didn't have cell phones, and you know they had them big, gigantic VHS recorders. But that's what I've been told.
Wow, man, that's crazy, man. That is awesome, man. So was it then, at that time, where you said to yourself, "This is what I want to do," or were you like torn between? Because a lot of young guys, you know, they're athletics, they into basketball, football, baseball, whatever. So you know they're so talented, so they got that, but then they also got this music thing. So
right.
How was it for you?
So after that, I think I was playing at church. Probably a few of the named influences that really started to impact me was Darius Brooks, because his mom played piano and sang at the church as well. So he would come to the church often and play and do different things. And I had aunts that sang in choirs and stuff like that. So at 10, I started playing with this community choir, this guy, Sam Kimball. And that was my first paid anything, was 10. You know, I recently found a picture, man. I got a choir robe on with the little army thing around the sleeve. And I was 10. So, and I was athletic. I played baseball. I played baseball in the community. Then I played in high school. And when it clicked for me that I wanted to do the music thing was my sophomore year in high school. I had joined All City Jazz Band that year, and I got a call to record in Houston, Texas, with Darius Brooks again. But my uncle, his name was Charles Tyrone, he had a choir in Houston. They was in Jason's Lyric. And Keith Pringle was they brought him in and he recorded on the session. And that was the first, I was 16, did a live session in Houston. That was the first time I flew by myself on the plane. I'd been flown, everywhere. But that was when I was doing it. So, prior to that, man, my mom was, as far as I'm concerned, my mom and dad, because my dad was a DJ. So he listened to everything, Lou Rawls, all of that stuff. But my mom took me to I saw James Cleveland, man, when I was 7 or 8 years old, with Bill Maxwell, Shirley Caesar, Andre Crouch, the Williams brothers. I saw the Jackson Southerners. We go back to that quartet. So I was exposed the Mighty Clouds, Joe LeGun, Paul Beasley. Man. So I was exposed to all of this by 10 years old. I was at the recording when the Thompson Community, Reverend Milton Bronson and the Thompson Community Singers, when they did It's Gonna Rain. I was sitting in the audience on that live session. That was like the first, when the first contemporary gospel choir records and those things started happening. I was there and witnessed it.
Wow. So Felix, you're blowing me away, man, because all these names are just so historic and so meaningful to me, and just to hear you just talk about some of the stuff that you witnessed at a young age. So in your teenage, like, years of 16 on up, what happened for you? Like, so first of all, you get a paid gig at 10. Who does that? Man, when I was 10, man, I was barely getting a quarter for a week for allowance, man. What the heck? So so now you're doing, at 10 years old, you're getting paid for gigs. Then in your teens, in your upper teens, you're constantly working. Now, is it strictly gospel, or what? Tell me what that was like.
So at 16, my sophomore year, I was in All City Jazz Band. My band teacher in our band it wasn't completely terrible, but it was just a launching pad, really. I was in All City Jazz Band. And there I met this guy, Pernell Johnson, that plays bass, incredible bass player. It was so many, like, incredible musicians that went on to, do some really, really cool stuff. And that kind of exposed me to the jazz thing, kind of the straight ahead and contemporary jazz. And then I started going to hang out at this club called the Jazz Bulls. Club age restriction is 21. But I just somehow was exposed to these different people. Your Keith Henderson, who is a phenomenal guitar player here that worked with the Emotions, Earth, Wind and Fire. Rob, he did R. Kelly, all of this stuff. So, but he was one of the dudes here in Chicago that was the man. And met him, and he started calling me for other little things, and one thing just led to another, and then it was one of those things where you started having tentacles just kind of going all over the place.
Wow, man. So the jazz thing, because Felix, man, your resume is explosive, bro. I mean, I'm telling you guys now, you guys go Google this brother, try to find his Wikipedia, and just really see how explosive his resume is. And it's such a diverse resume. You've done everything that you can imagine at your age, at 50, in your 50s, young 50s, in your insure 50s. I mean, no, your Similac 50s.
man.
See, I'm in my insurance 60, dog. but let me get back. So, what's the jazz now? And when you were doing the jazz thing, were you reading? Is that where you got your reading from during that time, or what was your reading game like? And how important was your reading game back then for you starting?
So, first of all, reading is so important. It's so important. But I'm not the greatest reader. Even now, I'm not the greatest reader. And Keith helped me. He definitely helped me get my chart navigational skills together, because I'm still not the greatest reader. With that being said, Ricky Lawson had a statement: "Don't be the last person to get it. As long as you ain't the last person to get it, you good." You know what I'm saying, when it comes to reading charts. But early on, because the band wasn't so strong, I lacked that. But I could really play, and I could hear. I could hear very well. And having grown up in gospel, dealing with choir directors, that sometimes are way all over the place. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about with the musicals and whatever. You can sometimes hear where songs are going or a direction that they're coming. And you anticipate some things. You gain a skill for anticipating where the song is going, how if it's going to be up, if it's going to be down. And so that's really realistically how I navigate. Got you.
So coming up in Chicago, did you do a lot of, what was your association, man, with a lot of the great musicians that's come out of Chicago? Because I know you had the West Side, the East Side. I've had brothers on here talk about both of their sides, and you got these monsters on this side, you got the monsters on this side. So what was your collective like back then?
Like I said, I grew up on the West Side. I was a West Sider. Coming into All City Jazz Band, it was schools from all over the city. So you had the South Side schools, the North Side schools, the West Side schools. They were there together, and we became friends and developed relationships. And a little later on, I met Walt Whitman from the Soul Children, who was South. Then I don't even remember when I met Oscar, but I met him early on, and I've always been the type to, I've never really been in a clique. I've never, how people have their groups and, this and this group and this group. I've always been the guy that's, if I'm having a good time or I want to know or get some other information, I'm going over there and get it. I'm going to get it. Probably, I mentioned Keith Henderson being a real big influence, but a guy, Clyde Davis, was a huge influence on turning me on to different things. And this cat, Robert Shipley, and all of this is, I'm still 16, 17, 18.
Wow.
16, 17, 18. I'm I'm being exposed to the guys that's playing with everybody, literally everybody. Yeah. I'll continue once we because I got some more.
Yeah, so there's so many big gospel greats that's even still rolling today, and in the history of gospel music when it comes down to Chicago, right? Were you ever a part of that clique? Did you ever roll with a lot of the gospel greats and do some of the big, with a lot of the gospel artists that we know of today? And if so, tell me a little bit about that.
Man, well, I was able to first sit under like Kevin Bronson with the Thompson Community Singers. I literally carried his drums because I wanted to go to the concerts. I wanted to be a part of that. I would catch the train to his house and wait, until he got there. And, he had the best of gear. So I would literally carry his drums. That was with the Tom's Community Singers. And then I was able to sit in on some rehearsals with them. Like when they did an album with Shirley Caesar. I was able to sit in on that rehearsal, be around her. I was able to work and record with Albertina Walker, which the Caravans. I even, I don't know if I got a chance to play with Tommy Dorsey, but it was close. It was just that close of proximity, but I did hear him and, got a chance to witness that. Miss Inez Andrews working with Richard Gibbs, and that's a whole, like, I know pretty much all of the gospel guys that's playing now, your Maurice, Calvin, your Swole, Benny, I don't want to, because it's so many of those guys.
Gotcha.
Any of the guys in that group, I know them, and in some way, I've tried to either help or have influenced them when they were coming up, encourage them in some kind of a way, like, hey man, just keep moving. Lil Man, that's like my god brother.
Interesting, man. That's interesting. So, is that the part that you were talking about? Like, you were never a part of the clique thing. You kind of just did your own thing, held your own thing, and kind of more or less kept to yourself with it had nothing to do with no ego, no attitude, no nothing. But you just had to find your way and navigate through everything. And is that kind of like what you're talking about?
Yes.
As far as the relationships, because
I
I know the relationships are great, but just coming up back then, was it kind of like that?
You have guys that you play with. Like, I played a lot with the guy Pernell. We worked together a lot with Darius.
Okay.
But then I started working with Walt Whitman, and then I was playing with for a minute Mike Manson. Ethan was on the gig for a while with the Soul Children. What was another? Tyrone Dickerson. He was another group that I found myself in and working with them. And I was the guy that was driving from the west side to go either to the west side or go to the south side or go up north or, kind of wherever I needed to be, because I was like, I always want to be a part of the best. Not the hype or the BS, but I wanted to play with the best of whatever musicians were available to me.
Felix, let me ask you something. We're going to move on from this because there's so much to cover. When you're in a town, such a city like Chicago, and it's just loaded, man. It's just flooded with just these great players, man. So many. Was there a competitive spirit to you, or was it like, was it more like everybody supported everybody loved on everybody, or was it? What was that like for you in your opinion? How did it feel to you?
You got to come with it. You got to hold your own, because you got to hold your own. I don't think it's so much like I'm not a like some drummers play for competition or sport, I'll say. Like I never entered Guitar Center, drum offs, or anything like that. Not because I didn't think I could do it. I just don't like that type of playing. Now I like playing and feeding off each other and pushing somebody or somebody pushing me to a point of, okay, you better come with it. You know what I'm saying? But I've never done it for the sport of it. I do it because I love it, but it's some love. It's a mixture of all that you ask, I should say.
Because, man, you know, Chicago is, you know, it's you know, and a lot of the brothers is, you know, they came out to Cali and LA, man, and just blowing up the world, and so it could probably be a pretty intimidating place if you're a musician. You know, a lot of young cats I mentor, their biggest thing is intimidation. You know, their biggest thing. It's like, listen, don't just do what it is you do best. Can nobody be better at what you do but you? So you're right, man. There's so much talent that's in that place, man. You know, so you know it's just there's only room for 5 starters in the NBA. You know, but it's nothing wrong with coming off the bench, right?
Nothing wrong with coming off the bench.
Hey, man, and
ready to play.
Ready to play.
With that call.
And then, like you said, you better come with it. You better come with it. Hey, man, when I look at cats from Chicago, I'm like, man, whoever coming up next better come with it.
They better come with it.
Man, let's move forward, man. So now, Felix, you did go to Los Angeles. You did up and move. You uprooted and moved to LA. What year was that? And tell me, just talk a little bit about why you did it and what was the purpose. And you know, and tell me, you know, what did it pay off? Was it? I already know the answers, but a lot of people that's listening, they don't. So talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so 1999 October, I get a call from Sheila E. We've been friends. She's been like a big sister to me ever since I met her. She came on Bernie Mac's show in 1996. We did the Bernie Mac show. She came on there and we really became like close. So fast forward to 1999, she has an audition in LA. She said, hey, we're doing the Millennium Tour of Handel's Messiah. She called, hey, come on out. I want you to audition for this gig. She called me on a Thursday. I was like, okay, that's Sunday. I'll never forget. I was demoing the first song that I wrote for the Soul Children to record. That Sunday, I was like, I told my writing partner, I was Ted, I was like, hey man, I gotta go to LA. I gotta go for this audition. Bought a ticket, went out and auditioned. Got the gig. It was me, Jamie Gamble from LA. Jamie's one of my favorite people. And that's a whole other story. He's an incredible drummer, really good bass player, but Jamie's heart.
Love that dude.
Crazy as he is, Jamie, and he knows I have a heart for him.
Love that dude.
So, and he came in, and I was really shocked, but I came in and did what I did. Sheila told me, she was like, you had the gig when I called you. I just wanted to see if you would come and get it. That was October 1999. We started rehearsing. In like November or something, because it was gonna run December, January into the millennium. And we rehearsed 2 days and the tour got canceled because the promoters and everything got nervous. Because we going into the millennium, everybody, the world is going to end. We don't know what's going to happen. So did that, and they still paid us some money, so it was good. And I was like, I'm free and clear. You know, I'm out of here. Moved January 15th. I started my journey to LA, packed my truck up, my drums. I shipped my clothes. Drove to LA, started rehearsing. I had one gig with Sheila. And did that. And that's pretty much how it happened. Key people that really looked out for me when I got to LA was my godbrother and his wife and Gordon Campbell. Gordon Campbell looked out. He said, I was like, hey man, I need a place to stay. He was like, well, what I'm gonna tell you to do is save your money and just, you know, he said, save your money. He didn't say, hey man, come stay with me. And I didn't expect him to, but that's who I leaned in on. And I moved, like I said, January 15, 2000. In April, a position came open at a church and Gordon referred me for it.
I love that dude. That dude is special to me, man. So how did you meet Gordon Campbell? Did you meet him out there? Or were you guys connected? Or what was that? What was that like?
So my first tour, and you opening up. Ooh, man, you opening up for a lot of good stuff, man. The first tour I did was with a play, this director, Mike Matthews. The play was called Wicked Ways. So we came to LA, we toured the country, then we landed in LA. We were in LA a month at the Wilshire E. Bell Theater. And man, I met Gordon, I met Nissan, I met Cedric, I met so many incredible musicians, Marlon Williams, man, because they would have a choir come and sing and they would have a band come and sit in. So, you know, you've been there a month and I'm a network. I've always been the cat to be networking and be like, oh, he networked more than anybody I know. But I just like to, when it's information I need to get, I don't mind going to get it.
So you met Gordon during that time?
Yes,
Right
I met
on.
him, and this was like 91, 92.
Wow. And you know, and I'm glad you acknowledged that, brother, because if you know, that's the start, man. Well, Sheila E. basically, right? Sheila E. called you and she said, the gig was already yours. I just want to see if you was gonna come out here and get it, and you did, right? But then it's them little baby steps, man. That's the key to success. It's the little baby steps, man. You know,
Yeah.
Go and say, hey, save your money. Just save your money. Save your money. You know, say, I got you. And he didn't forget about you. Recommended you for a gig. You was there 7 years. That allowed you to live stress-free, right? And to not have to worry about how you're going to make money. Dude, that right there is very, very powerful to me, man. You know,
Yes.
7 years, that's a job. It's a job now. Because being in LA, man, is hard when you got to stress. It's hard. When you got to worry about where you're going to sleep, when the next gig is coming, when you ain't got nobody. But that security, if you got the security, then you can focus on what you're, on the future. So that move right there, man, says a lot, man. Shout out to you, G, for that. That was good to hear. So when did being in LA, because now you're in the city of, oh my gosh, you talking about competition, competitive. You got everybody from all over the world that live there, right? So when did people start to notice Felix the Kat, the badass drummer, plus the great good guy? Because that's who people want to be around, man. They want to be around people who are good people and you can play. And now you're in LA. So when did things start taking off to you? Because dude, you've played with some of the biggest artists in the world. So when did that journey start for you?
Man, I think I don't think. I'm sure it started before I got to LA. But LA is one of those places, it's like for certain things, you gotta be there to experience certain things. Sekou Bunch, he called me for what's Doc Powell's gig. I happened to be somewhere, and it's one of those things that only happen in LA as far as I'm concerned. That was one incident. Then Don Wyatt was playing at the church because I was playing at First AME. He called me for something. Then I met Trevor Lawrence on an audition, and I had seen him because you see these guys every year at the NAMM show that you've met, and you build rapport with them and things like that. So I met Trevor Lawrence, and he turned me on. He started turning me on to different things, and it was like one thing just led to another. Oscar, because he hadn't moved to LA yet, but he, just knowing them, and then it was crazy, man. It was so many, like, just meeting this person and being at the right place at the right time, so to speak. JJ, I think I went on an audition with him early on, he's from Chicago, and we did one session together the entire time before I moved to LA. JJ and I did one session together with, oh my goodness, that Daniel Weatherspoon produced.
Wait a minute, man. Hold on. Wait, stop, man.
Yes.
You dropped three masterpieces, man. Number one, Sekou Bunch, masterpiece. Yes. JJ, masterpiece, man. Then Daniel Witherspoon,
yes.
The black Daniel Witherspoon,
the black Moses.
Hey, you dropped three masterpieces, but go ahead, man. Them dudes, oh my gosh. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So we did a session for
Oh, wait. I forgot. Can't forget about my boy Oscar Seaton. You got 4 masterpieces. I can't forget about Skeety Wheat, man. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
It's good. So before this audition, JJ and I had done one thing together. And so, and Ricky Minor at the time was holding the auditions. So he was like, I want to go with Felix. So, and then that's when bigger things started happening. At that much higher level where, it started kind of to run for the daytime talk shows, your Good Morning Americas, all that, that whole run. And then we going to Europe. Now I've been around the world already at this time, but it's a different level now.
Now, what's the artist you're playing with?
Anastasia.
Can't forget to mention Anastasia. Now,
Anastasia, and at that time she was the biggest thing globally. She wasn't in America. She was okay, but she was doing. But man, she was. I did the World Cup with her. FIFA World Cup with her. Numerous award shows overseas. I mean, we flying private jets, private. The huge planes, private. I was flying business class to Europe by myself. So it was really, really, really good.
I bet.
Really good. And it didn't stop for a minute.
So real quick, I'm gonna ask you one question. So from that point with Anastasia, from the time you moved to that point, how many years did it take to get to that point right there?
Oh, it took 2 months.
So wait a minute. 2 months?
2 months. I moved January 15th. Remember, I told you. I moved January 15th, 2000. I got the gig, I got the church gig that Gordon referred me to in April. Right after that, I got the audition for Anastasia. 2001, I was in Europe, like, you know, I mean, I was working around town. You know, I would always go see Goucher at the Praise Connection and everything, and just meeting people. Nisa Shanae, who's a sweetheart, I met her way back doing the plays. So I had a few people that would call me for things around town. But yeah, it didn't take long for it to happen for me, because we know it. Some things take time. Some things take time.
Bruh, you can say that again and again and again. Bruh, that's incredible. I mean, that's incredible. Listen, some people's been in LA for 20 years and never did a private jet tour or a stadium tour or a real tour. When you say World Cup, that's like playing the Super Bowl. I mean, it's like
Right.
so it's like, bruh, for 2 months, man. Now you're down there. I'm thinking like you at the church for 7 years, but you've had so much stuff that was going on in between those 7 years to your career is just exploding from this one recommendation from Gordon Campbell. Because see, had you not had that, right? And tell me if I'm wrong, it would have been hard for you to kind of live. That was job security for you, correct? Bruh, man, and this is what I tell
able to sleep and rest.
Exactly, bruh. This is what I tell people all the time. It's the little things that you really have to take in count for your success, man. It's not the big leap, man. It's them little small steps, bruh.
Small victories.
That
Small victories every day. I'll take the small victories every single day.
Small victories, although you have your long term goals and you have your short term goals, but bruh, them small victories, bruh, is incredible, man. I'm learning this about my brother. I'm learning this about, because whenever we talk, we already in the thing. We ain't even talking about nothing but the thing. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm really getting to know this stuff, which is incredible. Felix, share with some of the people. So you mentioned Anastasia, man. Just run off some of the people who you've been able to play just drums with.
Okay. Oh man. Okay, Anastasia, Sheila E., George Duke, Shaka Khan. I'm gonna mention some of the people that I don't really like to mention, but I'll mention them anyway, just because, you know, the Bible speaks about he'll make your enemy your footstool. So we'll just put some.
Okay, now if you gonna mention them, I'm gonna circle back and I got to find out why you don't mention them. Now you can plead the fifth on me.
It's all good.
You can plead
It's all good.
Okay, let's go. Let's mention some of them.
All right, so I mentioned them. You know, Brian Culberson. Man, I did Jennifer Hudson. I played with man, you know, now Jeffrey Osborne, Lionel Richie, you know, of course, who you and I had the pleasure of smacking with, you know, and there's a difference when DOA is playing bass.
Okay, man, listen. No, let's double back. Why you say a lot of people that you, and we ain't got to name no individuals, okay? But some of the people you name, why don't you really like mentioning them? Talk about some of your experiences, man.
Okay, I got 2 experiences. I'm gonna throw a few other people out there that I really enjoyed working with. I really enjoyed working with Clay Aiken, because I did Hollywood Week, American Idol Hollywood Week 5 years. But I had the pleasure of working with Clay Aiken, Taylor Hicks, David Archuleta didn't win, but he was an incredible person, and a lot of those were a lot of really good experiences. I worked with Philip Phillips, who I didn't the environment wasn't with Bobby Sparks. With Bobby Sparks, I was out there with Sparks.
Masterpiece.
And Arrow. Arrow was
Masterpiece.
Arrow was the music director. Courtney Leonard was playing bass.
Wow.
So it's two things about touring, man, that a lot of people don't get, that is very, very personal and dear to me. When we out on this road, we all we got. When we fly into these countries and you in a smaller group, I'm very protective of the artists that I'm with, especially if it's a female. You know what I'm saying? And you spend time with them, you become very protective because, D, we've seen some of everything, man. These people, it's some very crazy people out here that will try and do damage in any kind of way that they can. They just want to get close to somebody and that kind of thing. So I'm very, very personable and very tight-knit when I'm out on this road. Discrimination and prejudices those are my extremely low tolerances. And I've been called a nigga, and had a white dude punch a dude out right next to me, D, because they thought that they were going to just be able to, just rah-rah and say anything, and it didn't go over well for them at all.
Wow.
And some people, they're not as sensitive to the social kind of injustices that as Black men we face all the time. It doesn't go away just because you have money or you have a little fame or whatever. I was out with Philip Phillips. Shit, I don't have to. I was out with them, and someone made a joke after the Trayvon Martin situation. They were like, someone was talking about how their dad got into a brawl or whatever, and somebody said, "Oh, I wonder if he had some Skittles and a can of tea in his hand." And fortunately, they didn't say that around me, but it was in the group, and I got word of it, but that would have been my last day. I don't care how much money you got. I'm a man, and I don't deal with disrespect. We gonna talk about it. If there's no resolve, I'm out of there. No.
Wow.
And man, I was out with Everlast, and man, we got escorted out of we were in Florida. We got escorted out of a hotel parking lot. We're there with the tour bus. We just performed. We doing our thing. And someone tried to approach us. And in that band, it's a mixed group. And they were like, "No, y'all got to go. Y'all got to do this." And Everlast stood up for us. He spoke up. He's a high head as far as I'm concerned, and that's my boy. So he stayed ready. And he was like, "Nah, these my people. This how we getting down, and y'all not gonna do this." And they escorted us off the property. Big ass, nice tour bus, everything, man. Y'all gotta go. He was like, "Well, trust me, we will never come back here."
Wow.
So this road, man, it's some highs, but it's some lows, D. It's some lows, man. And we talk.
Wow.
Just that whole thing, just get on stage and perform. I ain't the dude.
Wow, man, you got me, you got me stumped over here, man. It's like, and I know, what you're talking about. I've had experiences, you know, as well, but just to hear it coming from, you know, a brother who's a little bit younger than me, and you talking about it, especially then, it's just crazy, you know. But I understand, and you know, bruh, for you to have to kind of go through some of that. See, I don't think I went through a lot of stuff, but bruh, some of that stuff you're saying, man, I'm like, whoa, you know, whoa, that's really, you know, knowing that you're living inside the organization, and you already know you already know what it is anyway, but to just to have that energy just to be put in front of your face, that's a whole different thing, man. That's a whole different thing. You know, you can just tell by management, you can just tell by some of the treatment, you can just tell by some of the attitude, you know, what they treating you like.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know. So, okay. You know what? I get it. And you're right, the road thing is a different thing. And here's the thing, man. You're making that artist rich. You're making that artist money for their families in the next 40, 50 years, and their grandchildren. When you're done, you're done. You got your little money, you're out of here. You ain't gonna, I guarantee you they don't got you in their will. So it's like, after a while, you have to start doing things for yourself. Now that's a good segue to this. Felix, you're a songwriter. You're a writer. You're a producer. You write music. You work with artists. How is that going for you? And tell me, is that a part of your end game, or tell me what your end game plan is? And I'm not saying it like, you know, like you're old, but you know, after a while, the road can do so much. You know, the gigs are, you know, they're kind of few far in between, and then they're different now. You know, nobody want to pay now. So what are you doing, man, for Felix D Kat?
Man, well, I've always been, in my own mind, been a songwriter. I enjoy writing music. And for me, it's a slow moving train. You know, it's hard to stop a train, period. So for me, it's slow moving. I have an artist, Marche Blue, that I produced. We're working on some new stuff now. Doing a lot of teaching. I have a 9-year-old musician drummer that's going to be a monster. He is going to be, and I have one he's playing all of the instruments, but he of course, I teach him drums, but he's good at piano. He's, you know, doing all of those things. But I'm enjoying teaching, man. I'm enjoying teaching. I still, you know, get out and play. You know, I told you earlier, I'm going back to the Middle East with Lionel. Which is fun. It's good to see the cats, you know. And I'm just doing very little of what I don't want to do.
Talk real quickly, man, briefly about, because you're back in Chicago now. So let's talk about, you left LA. Why you left LA? Was it time? Did you have enough? Was it something in Chicago? Tell me what was the thinking behind saying enough is enough, it's time for me to go back home?
So I'm gonna give you a bunch of little points, and then I'm gonna just hone it on in.
Absolutely.
So I was married to a pastor, and we have an amazing group of kids. The eldest of my bonus son, he was murdered a few years ago. And so life became different. Life was, you know, losing a child is just different. It's, you know, it's nothing that can be really explained. So, like I said, I was married to a pastor. We built a church together where I was supporting her building the church. And somewhere in that, I lost me. Somewhere in there, I lost me, became functioning homeless for a little minute. Guys like Sekou, Donnell Spencer, CC Thomas, a bunch of other really cool musicians helped support me and just keep my mind. Trevor Lawrence, his wife, JJ were support systems. We all need a support system. I don't care where you at, you need a support system. My girl Shay, you need a support system. So after that, coming, just kind of finishing that part of my life, my mom got breast cancer in the beginning of 2019. So I was like, man, I got to get my footing. I got to get, you got to get around people that love on you, and not because they want something from you, but because they love you. So Darius Brooks called me out of blue and was like, hey man, I've kind of revamped the Thompson Community Singers Reunion. You want to come to Chicago and MD this for me. I was like, well, I live in LA, but when he was like, you come the week when we got gigs, you come in, we rehearse, pull it together, do that whole thing. So now I'm coming back to Chicago, which is home, which is supportive. I'm going to, be with my mom, go through her with, with that whole thing, with her breast cancer. So it's, I'm getting my footing. I'm feeling better. I'm getting some more calls, did a couple things with Lionel. So I'm starting to regain my footing by coming back to Chicago and getting some stability. And then, still doing that. COVID hit. We're going into 2020. COVID hit. I'm in LA March 6th. That's the last day I was in LA. I was with my kids. We went, and my daughter, they like going swimming. So she was like, Dad, let's go swimming. And I was like, I don't really feel like getting a swimming pool. But I was like, enjoy this moment. We're in this moment. Let's enjoy it. March 25th, Earth closed. Earth closed March 25th, 2020. And so I'm back in Chicago, and it's like, man, traveling ain't really safe right now. It ain't too much happening. So I was able to just get back in Chicago because nothing's really happening. And I was, then some, they tried to start opening it up a little bit. My kids came to hang out with me that summer. I drove them back to LA because I didn't want to put them on a plane. I drove them back to LA, and I was like, I'm done.
Wow.
I was like, I'm done. I'm leaving on my own terms. The marriage is not happening. I'm done. And that was, and like I say officially, but October 2021, I had gotten me a place in Chicago.
So Felix, you took your kids with you?
No. They came out here for the summer.
For the summer, it's okay.
Yeah. And then I brought them back to LA.
Got you.
That particular year, and I was like, I'm done.
Wow.
I'm done.
Wow.
And now, even when I go back, of course, I go to see my kids, and I did 22 years in LA. It was great. I had a great time. I bought a home when I was in LA. You know, I toured the world. I did television. I did some sitcoms. I did it. I did I did a number of amazing and incredible things while I was in LA.
Bro, let me tell you, man, you've did blessed beyond measure, bro, because for your young age, people for the stuff that the blessings, man, just for the blessings, bro, that God has bestowed in your life, man, and it allowed you to experience and to see so many musicians, man. There's hundreds of thousands of musicians. There's tens of thousands musicians that wish they could be playing drums with Lionel Richie right now, going back east. Dude, you picking and choosing what you want to do. That's the best. That's the color of success to me.
Yeah.
When you when you're able to use the word no, I'm good.
As a complete sentence, D.
There you
As
go.
a complete sentence.
That's the color of success.
Oh.
That's the color of success. It's not like I got to do it because I need to. Oh man, my phone bill. Okay, man. What is it paying? Man, can you put another 100 on it? No, we can. All right, I'll do it. You got a lot of work to do, but keep going. Don't stop. But the story that this brother is telling, he said, he's having fun doing things he don't like to do. Something like that, right? Did I mess it up?
No, man. I do very little of what I don't want to do.
Man, Mayo, we gotta write that down. So that's what I love, man. That's what I love, and the fact that it's brought you back home and you're able to be back home with the moms. My mother came down with the same thing. She beat breast cancer. She beat it, and so I know what that's like. So man, dude, I admire your story. I'm glad you shared in love some of the things that you disliked about the touring world, man, because it's not all perfect. It's not all the glamour and all the backstage. It's not all of that, man. Sometimes you could be miserable. And if you're on a gig, man, you're miserable, you're doing something wrong, man. It's time. Just go home and go to Home Depot and be a manager, man. You're not supposed to be miserable, sitting on no drums, traveling the world, bruh. Something is wrong with that picture, right?
Yes.
So I admire you and I thank you, man, for sharing and telling that, because a lot of people think it's like, man, it's all, and don't get me wrong, man, it is. It's a beautiful life, man. What a way to make a living. It's, you're doing what you love. So, a lot of people don't think it's not work, but it is work. It's a lot of work, man.
It's a lot of work, and you gotta know how to manage a number of things. You got to manage your emotions, because artists are artists. All artists are not your friends. They're not your, you know what I'm saying? They're artists. And if you try and mess up that money, you will be out of there. I know, man, and we know a number of great musicians, incredible musicians. They can't keep a gig. They trying to Instagram their way with the artist to success. They're trying to, we friends just because you're on a gig. No, we're not. No, and it's unfortunate, man. It's certain things about that is unfortunate, D. But man, I'm grateful. I'm humble. I do want to share something with your audience, just as a closing piece. Not necessarily. We got close, but just as kind of a closing to just, because one of the things that I've been called to do is encourage people. This is going to be put some vulnerability out there as well, but I believe it's going to help somebody. For a couple of years, I didn't have my passport to travel because of arrears on child support. Now, if you know me, you know I've never not had my children on gigs, been like a on point dad. Like, I've never gone periods of time without seeing my kids or talking to my kids or whatever. But yet I found myself in a situation where I'd fallen behind on some child support, and my passport was taken. Fortunately, it was at a time where I didn't really need it. And the Lord is funny like that, man. He's incredibly funny like that. But in March of, it's about maybe 4 years ago, March of a year, I remember telling my son, my eldest son, I don't know how, when, where, how it's going to happen, but I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to take care of it because I've never not been in your life. I've never, not been a dad to you. But this little thing is like it's a sword. And I'm an international. I've grown past, thank you, Father. I've grown past local, continental, national, regional. I'm an international. That's what I've been called to do, to take my gift and gifting around the world and share it with people. March of that year, I told him, I said, and when it's done, you're gonna be my first phone call to let you know, to tell my son I kept my word, because our word is important. So March, we was at Starbucks on Crenshaw. I didn't know where, how, nothing. I was gonna get this money. In July of that very same year, I paid off $30,000 in child support. The money came, the Lord made provision and got it. I paid it off. I got my passport that August, that next month, because as soon as they cleared paperwork, I went and got it. Because I knew, and I didn't have a trip planned. That December, I went to Senegal, West Africa for 14 days to study, get information on traditional West, because I played traditional West African drums. The very first phone call I made, was to my son, and told my son I kept my word. So I'm saying all of this to say, don't feel like it's the end of the world when things are difficult and you don't have an answer.
Come on, man.
It's not the end. It's not the end, man. It's
Come
not
on,
the end.
man. Come on now.
It's not the end, D. So, hey, man, I love you, bro.
Man, brother, man, listen.
I appreciate you, man, for giving me the opportunity to speak, man, and just hang out. Because that's what we've been doing. We've been hanging out, man.
Man, listen, man, you brother, that testimony, those words of encouragement, man, trust me, it's going to affect a lot of people. That's so powerful, man. That could have just been the whole interview by itself, man, but that was so powerful. As much great stuff as we talked about in this conversation, man, that right there, bruh, brought chills to me, man. And wow, brother, man, I love you for that, man. I love you for that story, man. Listen, before I let you go, man, tell everybody how they can reach you, bro.
Man, I'm real easy to find. Felix Pollard on Facebook. Felix D Kat D hyphen KAT. On Instagram, Felix D Kat 11 on Instagram. Yeah, you can Google Felix Pollard, Felix D Kat. I'm there. I'll show up like a virus. Things is coming up. Yeah, this thing with Calvin and myself is gonna be huge. Look out for Marche Blue. The single out is Part-Time Love. Maurice is playing bass on it. Richard Gibbs. Kevin Randolph playing piano and strings. Greg Landfair, rest his soul, playing guitar. You know.
Listen, man, bro, this has been a complete honor to have you. When you hit the road with Lionel, man, tell Lionel, to everybody, man, tell everybody. I talk to Chucky all the time, but tell everybody I love them, man. I miss everybody, man, and y'all go over there. You be safe over there, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, be safe over there, and definitely, man, bro. This was a great honor, man, to have you on my platform, and I'll say it, man, at such a young age, man, just extremely blessed to have done. And then, man, you play with one of my favorite artists, man, Mr. George Duke, man. It's like, you know, bro, you've just done so much, man, and Shaka and all the things you've done, and all just the greatest musicians in the world, Felix, man. And it's because you are a great brother, man. And then when I found out that you knew my big brother, old crazy ass Bird, man.
Bird, man.
I didn't know me and you was kicking it for so many years that I don't know what happened. Man, I think you sent a picture with Bird, or you called. I can't remember what happened.
I was playing in sack with Brian Culberson.
That's right, man.
And he's like, man, you know, D. I was like, D, that's what it was.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Man, dude.
Man. So that's just, man, dude, listen, man. I'm not going to hold you, but I got one more question that I got to ask you before we go. Okay. You got 4 drummers you're going to put on Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
What 4 drummers are you going to put on Felix the Kat Pollard's Mount Rushmore? 4 drummers.
Wow. Okay. I gotta have categories, man. Okay. All right. 4.
We got him, Mayo. We got him.
No, I got you.
We got it. He's
Timothy
good.
Lee. Timothy Lee, because that's who put drumsticks in my hand. Kevin Brunson, because he's probably the most influential. He helped me figure out how to pick gear, how to tune drums. Yeah. Timothy, Kevin. Oh man.
Got him.
Mike White.
Ooh, that's 3. You got one more, man.
He's Chicago royalty.
Oh man, come on, man.
Mike White. And this last one, man, is Dennis Chambers. That's because he's probably oh man.
Oh, come on, man. All you
I
gotta do
to
is
change it with Billy Cobham because that's the first record I bought.
Oh.
But Dennis Chambers, you know, they wanted the same.
Billy
That's
Cobham.
Mount Rushmore.
So I'm gonna give you 5 because Billy Cobham, Dennis Chambers. Come on,
Yeah.
man. And Mike White. Oh my gosh, come on, man. So I got. But look, hold on. I said I'll get to pick my thing, right?
Yes,
I get a pick. So what I'm gonna do? You got 5 on yours. I'm gonna add a small little pinky.
All right.
That's gonna be Felix the Kat kind of sticking up there.
Oh, man.
He's a baby.
Hey.
He's a baby. He's just gonna be. In a minute, he's gonna be like right here, right? But right now, You just got your little head sticking out there, bruh.
D.
No, and the reason why, man, is because I know you personally, man, and I know your struggles, man, and at your young age to see where you are with all that you have been able to accomplish in your career, bruh, it's been overwhelming, man. Overwhelming, man. I tell people, man, that, man, you know, I've been so blessed, man. If God don't do nothing else for me, man, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm cool. He ain't got to do nothing else for me. That don't mean I stop asking. But
Right.
But man, listen, man. When you think about it, and it's like, how did we get here, bro? I mean, it's just nothing but the grace of God, man. He deserves all of the glory, bro. All of it. Because, dude, we're in this music business, man, which is really, really tough. And it's a different music business now versus then, versus 20 years ago, 22 years ago. But, and we're, still doing it, man. You still, dude, you still traveling the world, bro. You know, I know how Lionel get down. I know how y'all travel. I know how it's done. So it's nothing wrong. You still doing the thing. And I'm proud of you, man. So, bruh, I'm blessed and honored. And I'm favored to know you, man. To know you and to have you in my life as a real one, as a real brother, man, that I love so much, man. I'm proud of, man. You know.
Thank you, D.
Yeah, for sure, man. Listen, man. Listen, man. I gotta do this, man. And you gotta help me, okay? Because if I don't do it, Mayo's he's gonna want to kick your ass. So you gotta you gotta help me do this. I'll tell you. I'm gonna give you a cue, okay? And when I say Felix, I want you to hit it. You're a drummer, right? So you know what hit it mean, right? Like hit it, right? Okay, just watch me now. Watch me now. Don't lose me now. Okay. Y'all, please go and like and subscribe to the page. Please go and like and subscribe to the page. Please go and like and subscribe to the page. Please go and like and subscribe to the page. Felix, hit it for me.
Wow! Please go and like and subscribe to the page.
Yeah. Woo! Woo! Hey, unrehearsed.
Come on, D. Come on, D.
Hey, man, I love you, man. I love you, brother.
You know I love you, man.
DOA, let's get the funk on.